And I want you to make a move from spirit am I to spirit are we. Again, to your left and your right. Spirit are we. Each of us is a necessary and important part of the healing of this planet, of the healing of the human race. It can be no other way. If the intrinsic principles that we teach, that we are all one, there's only one of us in the room, have any substance at all, then we're exchanging energy, right? Then every time I heal generational wounds within my own being, I am healing generational wounds within the collective that is the whole. Yes? Every time I have a new thought, a new idea, and I welcome a new way of expressing on this planet, I am doing it not only for myself, I am doing it for the collective consciousness. Each thought I have as I elevate the thinking in my own brain is elevating the thinking that is universal. And it has nothing to do with time and space, because this is a quantum reality. This is a reality that is subatomic, that we are all connected to each other. We are exchanging energy with people in China, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Israel, in Pakistan. Everywhere you can go, we are exchanging energy with these people. That's how important the work that we do here is. Some people think, oh, it's a small little group of people gathering in Cobb County in Marietta, Georgia. It's just nice and it's sweet. No, you are here to save the planet. If your consciousness is there. You're not just here to heal yourself. That your healing process is a necessary component to the healing of the world. As we free ourselves from the bonds of any and all limitations, we are freeing the entire world to move into a higher vibration. The law of vibration. As I vibrate, I am attracting that vibration out into the world. It's the law of oneness. I cannot help but be exchanging energy when I'm holding a prayer or a meditation or a state of being. That it is being transmitted through the quantum field to everybody who has ever walked the face of the planet in the past, whoever will in the future, and who is walking the face of the planet right here, right now. We're here to save the world. Now, whose job is that? It's not Jesus' job. A lot of people have said, let's make Jesus responsible. Let's make Krishna or Buddha or Muhammad or Abraham responsible. It is our job. Let's say this with one powerful voice. It's our job. It's not the person to your left who needs to behave better. It's not the person to your right who needs to think differently. It is our job. It is a collection. It is an energy field. Grab hands with the people around you. Join hands. And if you can, reach across a chair and go ahead and I want you to just, the person who's on the far left, send a squeeze down the line. Send it and keep it passed all the way down the line and send it across the aisle, because it's not contained with physicality. They can feel it. When it gets to the end, send it right back the other way. And then somebody in the middle start it both ways. And how about all of you on that chain, go ahead and send a squeeze. This is what's happening on the planet today. Squeeze, squeeze, energy, thought, feeling, emotion, kindness, compassion, and love. You can let go of his hands before he dislocated his shoulder over there. Chet had a grimace on his face. You know, we exchange that kind of energy too. The grimace is happening in the planet based on what you're thinking. The pain that's happening on the planet is based upon your thinking. So choose wisely what you are thinking, what you are adding to it, because it is being transmitted down a wonderful chain of the human race, of our human earthly existence. Be careful. It is our job. It is your job. It is my job to change the planet. In Unity, we teach that we're intimately connected to all life, intrinsically inseparable from all of creation. There is only one energy, one power, one presence operating on the planet. So the trees out there, we're one with the trees. The thoughts we're holding are affecting the trees, the sky, the land, the earth, the people. Think about that before you put a thought into the field, to the quantum field. Be responsible. Be awake. Be aware. Each person is part of a collective consciousness, which means that the thoughts you're thinking, the emotions that you're welcoming into your heart, and the energies that you are holding are rippling out on waves and currents to everybody. Not just the ones that are within 10 feet of you. Not just the ones that are within 100 yards of you. That's easier to get our head around. It's people you will never meet. It's people you will never experience, but you are a part of their pain and you are a part of their triumph. You are a part of their light and you are a part of their darkness. Yes? This is the law of oneness. This is the law of vibration. when you heal your inner wounds and we come together to heal our intergenerational wounds, or when we release fear, when we let go of the fear that seems to be driving the planet today, when we embody love and compassion and kindness, the frequency is affecting and healing people we will never meet. We are saving the world. How many people have ever heard the story of the 100th monkey? A lot of us. Not a lot of us haven't heard that. It bears repeating because it proves the principle that I'm talking about today. There was an island of monkeys, and the scientists saw that the monkeys were getting sick. They were getting ill, and they couldn't figure out why they were getting sick, and then they watched them. And there were potatoes on this island, and all the monkeys would dig up the potatoes out of the ground, and they would eat them, the dirt and all. And they began to realize that the dirt that they were eating was causing the sickness. The chemicals or whatever, not the chemicals, but the disease that was in the dirt was being infused into the monkey and into the kingdom. Anybody feel like the human race is ingesting a lot of toxic energy right now? And so they said, well, let's do an experiment. Let's teach one of the monkeys, just one of them, to wash the potato when they pull it out of the ground, to take it to the water and wash it and cleanse it. And one monkey did it. And the other monkeys went, They noticed. Remember the old phrase, monkey see, monkey do? It's exactly what happened. On this island, the other monkeys started copying what the one monkey who had been taught to do, and they began to wash the potato. And on that island, disease began to go away. When the 100th monkey, the critical mass, the tipping point, happened, not only did all the monkeys on the island start washing the potatoes, miles and miles and miles away, monkeys on every other island began to do the same habit. They'd never seen it demonstrated. There was no monkey see, monkey do. There was a quantum connectiveness that this is what's healthy. This is what's better. This is what's going to heal us. And so all the monkeys began to do it. Think about the human race and put it in context. We're on an island together, and many of us have been eating a lot of dirt. Many of us have been eating a lot of toxic energy. And we come together and we're reminded that there's a different way. There's a better way. We cleanse our mind, we cleanse our consciousness, we cleanse the energy at which we are operating. And when enough of us can do that, 100, 200, 300 of it, is there a possibility that somebody somewhere who's having an evil thought picks up a baby and goes, I can't do this? Somebody in Hamas. Is it possible that energetically that soldier, that militant soldier, picks up a child or breaks into a house and goes, I can't do this anymore? That there are people that are perpetuating destruction and duality and pain and darkness on the planet. Is it possible that they will have a thought, there's got to be a different way? And there's a critical mass, there's a tipping point. Not only is it possible, it is probable. That's why it's so important when we come together and we cleanse the mind. We cleanse the energy at which we are operating. That's exciting to me. I don't know about you, but it's extremely exciting that we're not just here to heal ourselves and go out into the world. We are here to save the world. So it's not just a compulsory act. I go to church on Sunday. We are uniting hearts and spirits and consciousness and minds with the sole purpose of healing somebody in China, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Israel, a Palestinian land that we fought over for centuries and centuries and centuries. Is it possible that the thoughts we're holding here could maybe change it tomorrow? It's not only possible, it is probable. That's how important it is. Deepak Chopra knew this, absolutely. Let's put the quote up there. This is what he said. Let's read it together. If enough individuals elevate their consciousness, it can lead to a tipping point where the entire world begins to reflect that higher level of awareness. My challenge to this congregation today is to be the 100th monkey, to be the tipping point, to be the change that you want to see, and quit waiting for the person on the left or the right to do it. Quit waiting for a savior to come and make it okay and be the savior. Quit waiting for an energy to come to the earth. The energy already exists on the earth, and it lives at the point of you if you are awake to it, if you are implementing it. Be the one who saves the world by creating a new reality, first here and then here. Healers, as the song said, all over the world are seeking each other. How many healers do we have in the room? Everybody's hand should be up. We are healers, and we have found each other. We have vibrated, looking for something more meaningful, something more holy, more sacred, more full of life, and we found each other here today. And is it possible that if we keep seeking and we keep looking, that the energy that's in here will go out there and you'll find more tribes of people, more healers who are ready to be more conscious, to be more awake? Spiritual seekers and students are like cells within the body of the one energy that is God. We're all cells within the body of God. And we're seeking each other. We're finding each other. And we're only going to find each other if we hold the thought that we are going to find each other and not, it sucks, it's terrible, it's dark. Why don't they? How come they don't do this? Listen to the language that's coming out of your mouth, because it's either attracting to you more healers or it is repelling those healers out of your environment. We need to be the change we want to see, first within and then without. As we find ourselves, we remember, as we started the service, we belong to each other. Cancer of any form, physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual cancer, cannot and will not survive in an energy of light, of community and family. That's how important what we do is here today. Healthy cells create healthier bodies, yes? Healthy cells work to rid the body of that which is unhealthy. Healthy people create a much healthier humanity. So I ask you today, are the words that are coming out of your mouth cancerous or healthy? Are the thoughts that you're entertaining in your mind cancerous or healthy? Are the emotions that you are holding when you don't understand something, or when you're afraid and when you're fearful, are they cancerous or are they healthy? We come together and remind ourselves that there's a higher way. There's a better way. There's a more loving way. There's a more compassionate way that transcends our differences, that transcends our pains, that transcends our generational wounds and the wounds that are being perpetrated over and over and over by the words that are coming out of our mouths. We climb mountains together. Say that with me. We climb mountains together. And there is a mountain before us in the human race, and it's in the country. But we will climb that mountain together, hand to hand. Just as I had you join hands, and it may feel like your shoulder is getting disconnected over there. But we move through the pain because we're doing this together, and I will suffer a little bit of pain for the promise of what's on the other side of doing it together and not letting go of those hands. The healers that are holding with you. And if you're surrounded by healers, you can dislocate your shoulder and they'll put it back in for you. We climb mountains together. We cross deserts together. Together we say that. We cross deserts together. We heal generational wounds together. We heal generational wounds together. But we must play our part, or there is a break in the chain that stops the flow of love and light. That's going to stay. We represent one link in this chain. And at any given moment, we can go, I'm too tired. At any given moment, we can go, this is too difficult. This is too painful. It's just easier to be angry, to be mad, and to make you my enemy. And this is what happens. The people in China never get the message that you were called to bring to the planet. Never receive the healing that you're supposed to bring to the planet. No, it's too hard to be a healer. Let me tell you, it's too hard not to be a healer. I don't like the consequences of what I'm seeing of everybody dropping chains, and guess what? I've been one of them. I don't want to do this anymore. It's too hard. And then I pick it up. There must come a time when we, as the healers, as the spiritual seekers, say, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how much somebody is pulling on this side or pulling over here, I will hold the ground in the middle. I will be the middle ground that knows truth when nobody else can see it. I will know God when nobody else can find it. I will know love when it is so hard and my shoulders feel like they're going to be disconnected. I will be the health that I seek as we cross the mountain and the desert together. You are an important link in the chain of humanity, and it is not an accident that you're right in the middle of it. You are essential. You are necessary. You are important. Don't take that lightly. We must consciously know, claim, and implement this truth, and live this truth, and breathe this truth when it is dark. when it is scary, when we are afraid. That's when we have to hold on to the chain even more. Ours is to cultivate and to demonstrate a different way, to resist the tendency of most of the world that we see today that is perpetuating the same dualistic and combative energies and destructive energies. Be above it. They're prevalent in the world today, and the closer we get to this election, the more I'm going, Om Shanti, 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 Shanti. I have a preference for how this election goes, but at the end of the day, my preference is for peace. No matter who wins an election, which isn't going to affect my peace, no matter who wins this election, at any level of government, I will be peace and I will hold the ground when somebody wants to pull me this way and somebody wants to pull me that way. It's easier to go, I drop the chain, and guess what? There will not be peace on the planet. It will be all hell breaking loose. That's how important what we do here, because you are the healer. You are the one that's called to change. As the 100th monkey demonstrates energetically, people you will never meet, that you will never know, that will never see your demonstration of holding peace, even when it is really hard, they're going to be affected. It doesn't matter what state they're in or what country, and they will be effective. And maybe there will be a tipping point. Maybe you will be the tipping point, and suddenly the world will go, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't working for me. I believe that is possible. I find in my life that I want to elicit the change that I think we need, that cooperating with the laws of oneness, cooperating with the laws of vibration is a heck of a lot more effective than judging everybody else for not being who I think they should be. Cooperating with the quantum field, that which is at the subatomic level, working and doing my spiritual treatments at the level of energy, of spirit, of truth, of God, is way more effective than judging the person to your left and your right. There are 1,000 ways to transform. Say that with me. There are 1,000 ways to transform. There are 1,000 ways to heal. Together, there are 1,000 ways to heal. I want to hear from you. How do you do it? How do you transform? How do you heal the planet? Call it out. Call it loud like your life depended on it. Come on, come on, come on. As my friend Rusty Morgan would say, come on, come on, come on. I want to hear from you. The world wants to hear from you. And it's going to require bravery and courage and guts and standing in the fire when you're being pulled all different directions. Peace, love, oneness, whatever it is, you need to be so familiar with it, so comfortable with it in your skin and in your life that you can speak it out when the world is falling apart. You need to be so comfortable with it that the understanding that God is doing business as you, that when the darkness hits, you are the light of the world and you're not waiting for somebody else to do it. This is the move from me to we that this church is absolutely committed to. New thought people come in here and it's all about me, 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 me. Mine, 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 mine. You want to know why there's a war between Israel and the Palestinians? It's mine, 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 mine. My land, my good, my wealth, my oil. Oh, let's get into that. Mine, mine, mine isn't saving the planet. It's destroying the planet. So maybe we can be the we. I'm going to give you 3 ways, and I want you to write them down because I want you to implement them this week. 3 ways that we can heal and transform the world. Number 1, consciously recognize interconnectedness. Say this with me. Consciously recognize interconnect. This is staying awake. I am awake and aware that I am connected to everybody. The me to the we, letting every thought I think, every feeling I entertain, and every action I take come from an awareness that it is affecting the human race. And it's being infused into the soil of Mother Earth. Maybe I need to get to the water and cleanse the potato that I'm eating. Maybe I need to clean the food that I'm putting into the system, this laboratory of expression and creativity, because if I don't do the cleansing process, I am adding toxic energy, poison to the environment. Every thought and action I take comes from an awareness of how it is affecting others. And you know what I found? There's a lot of people on the planet that don't care. I don't care. Doesn't bother me. Let me make it more personal. It's affecting your kids. It's affecting your spouse. It's affecting your loved one. Let's make it personal. Is what I'm about to do something I want my kids to experience? Is what I'm about to say something I would say to my children? If the answer is no, then why are you speaking it? If there's only one of us in the room, energetically, you're speaking to your children, to your parents, to your brother, to your sister, to the one. And there's no respecter of human beings. You put it into the field, God goes, okay, that's what you want. And everybody gets to experience the consequences of your toxic or positive or loving energy. Is what I'm about to do something I want my kids to experience? Then why in the world would you say it if the answer is no? The simple shift in perspective brings a consciousness that guides our actions and thoughts in more meaningful and more truthful and more united ways. I'm either adding to or subtracting from peace on earth. Peace for humanity. Peace for the planet, oh yeah, and peace for my kids. And it's not just peace for me. Got mine. I'm good. I got my peace. I don't care about you. That's a toxic mindset that needs to die, that needs to be let go of. Number 2, let's read it together. Become a thought leader. The world as I know it today, we're a bunch of thought followers. We're like automatons following. What's the current thought? What's the popular thought? Let me go there. We have to have the guts and the courage and the strength and the tenacity to be a thought leader, not a thought follower. Catching ourselves and asking ourselves the question every time we're getting ready to speak and asking those around us in the most loving way, is that really what you want to add to the planet? Is that really, really, truly what you want to bring to the family of the earth? Is that thought, is that word, is that emotion something that is necessary? It is kind. I'm calling us to think. Think, the acronym THINK. Where did I write this out? T-H-I-N-K. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it nice? And it is kind. And if it is not, why the heck are you speaking it? Because guess what? If you don't, somebody you'll never meet is going to receive the effect of that. And there's a vibration that's happening. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Heck, is it nice? Is it kind? If it isn't, don't say it. Don't do it. Plain and simple. Number 3, let's say it together with a powerful voice. Own your stuff. You make a mistake, own it, and own it out loud. I just screwed up. I just went unconscious for a minute. If you screw up and make a mistake, own it out loud, open wide for the world to see. Let me try that again. I need to do it differently. I've shared this story before, but it bears repeating. My friend Chris was in a singing group called Potpourri. He was the best singer in the group, but they were a quite talented group, and they were doing this wonderful concert. And Chris started singing that song that unites everybody. Imagine all the people. And we're just swaying to the music. It's wonderful. And he was so taken over by the Spirit that he decided, I'm going to improvise. Well, first of all, you don't mess with John Lennon's Imagine. It's a pretty boring melody, but you got to be real careful there. But the Spirit led him, and he said, I'm going to go off on a different tangent. It felt so good. He couldn't find a note to save his soul. He couldn't find the pitch to save his soul. This talented singer was taken over by a spirit and was totally off key, couldn't find the rhythm, and the track just kept going without him. In that moment, that was a moment of choice. Chris stopped. He could have been mortified. And we were all on the edge of our chair. Oh my gosh, this is bad. What's happening? And Chris did this. Wow, that was interesting. And he laughed, and he smiled, and he finished the song. At the end of that song, nobody remembered the mistake. Nobody remembered the complete and utter failure. What they remembered is I was brought in. I was brought in to, I owned it out loud. I screwed up. So what? Let's smile and get on with living. We are called to do the same. We're so worried to hide our dark sides. We're so worried to hide our shadows. We're so worried that somebody might crawl into our heads and know what we're thinking. If you're worried about what you're thinking in your head and somebody knowing it, you've got some cleansing work. Take the potato to the ocean. I often said, what would life be like? Would my life be different if Somebody put a microphone inside my head, and every thought I was thinking was being broadcast on NBC. If I was living that way and I'm not so comfortable and I would change it, then we've got some work to do. We've got some cleansing to do. Let every thought, let every voice but God's be still within me. If the emotions are being broadcast to the world, would I want my grandmother to hear them? Would I want my children to hear them? If the answer is no, then why are you thinking it? Why are you speaking it? Because you're affecting somebody at the end of the line. A lot of somebodies between you and them. Charles Fillmore said the sure remedy, Charles Fillmore, I'm sure we got students in here, is the sure remedy to heal everybody, to heal the planet of all its maladies. What is it? Sit on a pillow every night, 20 minutes, and forgive everybody everything.